Hi everybody, welcome. Today we are going to do 3 different ornaments and learn 3 different techniques. So 1, we're just going to paint, and 2, the second thing we're also going to paint, but we're going to learn this foiling. Can you guys see the foil when I rotate it? I'm going to show you how to foil today. So we're going to paint, foil, and lastly, how to decoupage with a napkin on an ornament. Okay, so the things that you've got with you are your ornaments, and there's 2 of each. I'm just going to pull 1 of each because we'll have time to do 1 of each one of these today. Then you've got 3 extra ones that you can take those techniques that you've learned and do more. Okay, so I'll just set those aside. You've got a napkin, ribbon, sprinklets, which are in this tiny little bag, and cute little clay Christmassy sprinkles, 3 different paints, green, white, and a blue. Your blue might be a little bit different, but that's okay. A brush, foil, and a glue pen. Your glue pen might look just a little bit different, but they're all going to do the same. Now, things you are going to need from home is a plate or a palette where we can mix some of this paint. So a palette, white glue, I'm using tacky glue, scissors, Scotch tape. You're just going to need a piece of tape, and then a cup of water and paper towel for cleanup. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Today we're going to start with the Christmas tree because we need to actually paint this. We're going to let the paint dry before we can move on. We're going to work on each one of these ornaments a little bit at a time and rotate. So while this one's drying, we'll move on to this one. While these 2 are drying, we'll move on to this one. So that's the reason why I'm doing them in this order. I want to be able to accomplish all 3 within this hour, and yeah, have 3 gorgeous ornaments, and then you have the know-how how to do it. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do, this is my little napkin placemat I'll put down, and it doesn't matter which side of the wood ornament that you use, either side, they're just the same. And I'm going to go ahead and take my paintbrush. I use it while it's wet or dry and just use the paint. You could scoop out just a little bit of paint and put it on your palette, or you could directly paint just on here. Now, I did have help earlier. Mel helped me open these up. Thank you, Mel, for doing that. And I'm just going to paint. And you don't need a lot. You just want to make sure you coat the whole thing. And paint, paint, paint. And as I'm doing this, I'm just wiping the paint off of my brush to get all that color on there. Now this little guy is kind of irritating. You could cut that off and tie it on later, or you could just kind of move it out of the way. Maybe you want to use a different color ribbon on it too. So I'm just dipping just a little bit and then wiping off my paint. Again, you don't need a lot because you're going to make a mess if you have too much. I'm going to go ahead and do the entire tree. I'm just doing one side today. You could do the other side later after it dries. Ta-da! So there's my tree. I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to take my brush and clean it really good in the water. Okay. Next, I'm going to take my brush. We're going to work on the circle one. Now this circle one, I'm going to show you how to make this guy, he's so cute, this little snowman. Oh, you'll need an orange marker today too. You could use an orange marker. Don't have orange with me, but that's okay. Maybe my snowman won't have a carrot nose. Totally fine. On my little plate, I'm gonna take white. You will need some white for another day, so make sure that you keep a little bit of white. You will need white for another day. Today you barely need any. Just a little dollop, and we're going to take our brush. Let's draw kind of a circle towards the bottom. Made a circle. It doesn't need to be perfect because guess what? Snowmen aren't perfect. So we can draw that at the bottom. And then I'm going to take just a tad of blue, just the ever so slightly, just a smidgen, because I like for my snowman to be just have a little bit of blue. And I'm just going to take my brush and pounce it around the outside and go in. Mine has a little bit of green in it too. It's okay. See, just a little bit of blue. Now, if you have too much blue, you can clean your paintbrush. And it doesn't take a lot. You guys will see it doesn't take a lot. And you can always do just a little bit of more white and pounce on top again. Now I'm gonna make a little head on top of here, or if yours is so big, maybe that's where yours is going to have the little carrot nose. We're going to look at the placement on here. You could put a little head on here, or again, you could just use that as your head. Maybe I'll just use that as my head. I kind of like it. Yeah, I don't even need a little poof on top. Up to you. All right, now I want this one to dry. This has got to dry. So we're going to put those two aside and work on them a little bit later. That'll be my Christmas tree. That'll be that. Now I'm going to show you how to do Mod Podge on this star. Go ahead and take your napkin. So I want you to take your napkin and you can open it up. Actually, I cut that one already, so let's open this one up. And you can see you've got all of these designs. I think instead of doing the stocking, because that stocking really doesn't fit, and you're gonna have a different design, which is completely fine, but look and see what design you may want on yours. And I think that I want this design. Kind of, I'll have a few stripes on my star. Maybe I don't even want the whole thing. You could cover the whole thing or just a portion of it. Yeah, I'll do the whole thing. And I'm going to start right below that. So I'm going to line it up here. And then I've got a pen. I'm going to trace it. And you guys pause the video at any time because you can start it back up again if I'm moving too fast. Okay, so there's my star. I'm going to cut that out of my napkin. I don't need these colors anymore. Oh, I just and we're gonna need the white on another day, so don't forget that. Okay, now let's go ahead and cut the star out. I'm gonna cut a bigger piece because it's hard for me to maneuver this. Okay. Now that is much easier for me to cut this star out. That piece of wood made a perfect pattern. And I'm cutting just inside my trace lines because I don't want to see any of those trace lines. So I'm cutting right inside. Okay. Once I have my star, I'm just going to lay it over this again. And remember that top piece I cut flat because I don't want to worry about that little puka, that little hole up there. I'll lay it down. Hey, it looks good. Now, before I glue it onto the star, there are actually 3 layers in this napkin. Did you know that? There's actually 3 layers. I just want the top layer that has the most color on it. Now, I could try and push it apart. Oh, and actually 1 layer came off very nicely, just like that. Now there's still 2 layers on here. Now that next layer doesn't always come off very easily. So let me show you a little trick. If you're not able to pull it apart, hey, you know what this one is? I'm able to peel it apart. But a little trick, if yours isn't able to, you turn it over on the back side where there's less color, and you take a piece of tape. And then you peel it back. And you can throw this one away. And now we just have that final color. Isn't that cool? That first layer has all of this color, and then we will glue it on here, okay? But instead of just pure glue, we're gonna create our own Mod Podge. What is that? Well, Mod Podge is basically glue and water. So I've got my little plate here. I'm going to squeeze out a little bit of glue. You might want a little bowl. And then I'm going to take a lot of water and I'm going to make it just like a really thin paste. See that? So it's very liquidy. I don't want that glue to be thick at all. I want it very thin. So my glue is very drippy kind of now, very thin. If you use straight white glue, it's going to be way too thick and it'll tear the napkin. Okay. So I'm going to take my star and I'm going to paint on my thin glue, which I'm calling Mod Podge. We just made our own. White glue and water. I've got a nice little coat, which you guys can't see. I can barely see it, but I know it's on there. And I covered all of the tips of the star. Then I'll take my star, and for me, that flat edge is going right up here where the little hole is. And I'm gonna carefully position it and lay it down and just tap with my finger very gently. Very gently. It's so cool because it actually looks like I painted that on there. So just very gently wipe it on. If you press too hard, you're going to tear that delicate napkin. And then some of the parts, like here, it kind of went over the edge. I can sand that down later or glue it later, but actually I just use my finger and I'm pressing it around and it's sticking to the star. If you have any excess, we're going to deal with that later once this is totally dry. Okay? Voila! That, my friends, is how you do Mod Podge. There will be one more step where we'll do a coat on top, but we want this to completely dry first. So we're going to set that on the side. Now, we're just in time. This one has dried. It's dried to the touch. I'm going to show you how to do some foiling on this beautiful tree. Oh, don't forget, let's take our paintbrush and just put it in the water for now. Okay, so we are going to, you guys all got a pen. It may look just a little bit different, but the concept is the same. This, you'll want to, with the lid on, give it a shake, shake, shake. And yours, you'll have a felt tip on it. You'll want to press, 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 press until that tip turns blue. I've already got mine ready. It might take yours a little bit, but what's happening is when we push down like that, the tip goes inside and picks up the glue that's in here and then slowly drips down onto this tip where it's blue. Okay, when it's blue, that means it's ready to go. I'm going to take the tip and I'm going to draw some circles on here, like little ornaments. And I'll draw, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do 6. 6 little ornaments. Now all of these are a light blue color right now. When I see that it's clear, it'll be ready for me to put the foil on it, but not until it's completely clear. That blue needs to dry a little bit. You know what? And I'm going to put some stripes down here in the trunk. See the gold on that, how it has stripes? That's what I'm creating. I made some little stripes. So I'm going to put this one on the side and let that dry because it's still blue. I can still see those blue. That glue is still blue. It's not ready for me to foil yet. But this guy is ready for the next step. My little snowman. Ooh, I know what we can do. Let's make his nose gold. Since I didn't have orange, I'm going to draw on, I'm going to draw a carrot nose. Can you guys see that? With the blue pen, with my glue pen. Drew it on there. There, you can see it. Now the other thing I want to do is draw a smile on him. And his smile is going to be right here at the tippy top. It's hard for you to see, but I promise I just drew a little smile on there. Then I'm also going to take the pen and I'm going to just make some little dots all over so it looks like snow. And your dots you can have some big ones, you can have some little ones. You can draw snowflakes on there. There, you can see it at that angle. Ta-da! And I'm gonna let that dry. This isn't quite done yet. I can still see that light blue. Not quite done. It's okay. So while these two are drying, we're gonna go back to our star. So many things are happening, so many great things, all of these fun projects. This star. I'm gonna take some more of my little mixture. So I had the glue and the water. And now I'm gently going to paint on top and sealing. You want to gently do this. And what this is doing is sealing that napkin to the wood. Just a light little coat. If anything starts to tear, stop and then let it dry. And you can do it. You can make this mixture again, just the glue and water, and go over it lightly on top. Oh my goodness, this looks fantastic. Ta-da! Oh, this looks so good. This could also be a tag. You could use that as a tag. Put that one down. Okay, now I'm taking a look at these. I don't see any more blue dots, but I can see where I put the glue. It's shiny. It's not blue, but it's shiny now. That means it's ready for the foil. Let's see, what color do I want? I know that I want gold for the bottom portion right here where the trunk is. So I'm going to take the corner and I'm going to lay it on there. I want the gold facing up. I want to look at the gold so I know what color. And I'm going to put it on the trunk. I'm going to gently press my finger like this. And then I'm going to peel it off. And I have gold. So what's happening is that foil is sticking to the sticky glue. Okay, let's make a little blue or a gold ornament. I'll stick it right here, gently press and pull it off. Oh my gosh, I love it. Let's see where else. I'll do another one over here. Gently press. Gently press. That ball was not completely circle. Look how cute. I'm gonna do some more colors. Pink. I'll do a pink one up here. So cute. Oh, I have this color, blue. Oh, I have this hot pink color. I think I have one more. Yeah. Put up there. Look at that. So now we have these foiled ornaments on there. How fun. I love foiling. So fun. Now I think I'm gonna embellish this to finish it off with a few little dimensional ornaments. And these are the little sprinklets that you have in your little baggie. You'll probably want to save, if you have any gingerbread men, you'll probably want to save those for another day. Up to you. So I think I'm going to use maybe, I have some little circles. Everybody might have something a little bit different in theirs. I'll take a little bit of my white glue. I'm just going to put a few dots down. I think I'll put 3 or 4. You can put them wherever you want. But you will need these for another day, so just use a few. Ta-da. Okay. And just like that, the Christmas tree one is done. So now I have 2. Okay, let's move on to this guy. So his nose that I did and the little snowflakes, those have all, they're not blue anymore. So I know that's ready. So for his carrot nose, I'm going to use gold. And I want to be careful because maybe I don't want the snowflakes to be gold. So I'm going to be careful where I put this piece. I only want it on the carrot part. Gold facing up. Press that down. Voila! This carrot nose. Cute. And I think I want his smile to be blue. The rest of it I want blue. So I'm going to make his smile blue. Aww. And then the rest of the snowflakes blue. So I'm just going to rub that on. I mean, this little embellishment you could do so many things. It's not washable, so you wouldn't be able to do it on like your hydro flask or anything, but maybe you have other ornaments or cards. This looks great on Christmas cards too. If your Christmas card doesn't have foil on it and you want to do a little accent, this looks amazing. And you can use it with double-sided tape too. We're going to use this foil on other days, so keep it nice. Awesome. Okay. Now let's do a little scarf on this guy, like I did here. So we're going to take the ribbon that you have. And what I do is I put it down. I like it where it kind of comes off of the ornament. It's kind of cute like that. And then I'll fold it back over. I'm going to give it a little cut. I like to do it at an angle. Now you could use white glue, or if you have a glue gun, this would be a lot faster. I do have a glue gun, so I'm going to use my glue gun. Do a little glue there to put down my first layer. So it's like in a long strip. And then I'll fold it over and either have it come up or have it go down a little. You don't want it exactly straight across. I like it just a little bit where it looks like a little scarf. So it's just kind of up or down, not completely flat. I like it when it's a little bit to the side, angled. So just a tiny bit of glue. And if you're working with a glue gun, you want to be careful, they're hot. You could use the back of a pen just to gently press it down and put it into position where you like it. So again, because I didn't have orange nose, I made his nose gold, which is fine. I think that's a nice little touch. You know, and when you're crafting, when you don't have certain things, you use your creativity to make it work. And by putting the gold nose, I think that's even better, I think. We discover new things when we use our creativity, and we're forced to make decisions when we don't have all of the things. We're forced to get creative. Now, for this star, if you wanted to, you could put, maybe accent some of the lines that are on there. I just did a couple lines, drew with my glue. I just need to wait for that to dry before I put my foil on it. Maybe this is a time where I make a bow to put on top here. So I'll just make a little bow because you've got all this ribbon. I'm gonna grab my better scissors. Okay, these are much better to cut the ribbon. Yeah, I'll save that little bow. I think it's ready. It doesn't look blue anymore, so I'm gonna use this piece of green. Once you start foiling, you're gonna love it. You're gonna probably start foiling everything. Just a little added touch of foil to that makes it cute. And then we'll put our little ribbon at the top. Ta-da! And there you have it. A collection of beautiful ornaments for the holidays. Sure had fun with you guys today, and I look forward to our next project together.